Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Will Tucker, America's vegan trainer. And today we're here live at California Vegetarian Food Festival. Make some noise! There you go, live. So I'm honored to MC today, and without further delay, let's go ahead and bring up our first speaker, who's standing by my side. You've probably seen this young lady, her daily lunch break live, where you see wonderful plant-based creations being cultivated in kitchens all across California, Southern California specifically. And she had her own show on HLN, CNN. She's won 4 Genesis Awards from the Humane Society of the United States. But without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce you to Jane Velez-MItchell. Make some noise.
I am so delighted to be here at the California Vegetarian Food Festival. I'm talking about how you can use your cell phone to save the lives of millions of animals. Now, we are being broadcast right now on Facebook.com/janevelezmitchell, which is my budding social media news network for animal rights and the vegan lifestyle. And so please share this video if you're watching on Facebook. At the very least, if I leave you with one thing, share videos that show what's really happening to animals. You can also go to Unchained.com and get the content and share it there. Your cell phone is your best tool to save the world. You can have a lot of fun. Everybody has a cell phone, and everybody uses it constantly. The question is, are you going to use it to make dates to go to the movies? Fine. But are you also going to use it to save animals? You can do that. We have to use social media to help animals. There are at least 60, it turns out it's actually underestimated, 74 billion animals, cows, pigs, chickens, turkeys, goats, lambs, raised in institutionalized cruelty and killed every year. Now, there are 7.6 billion humans on Earth, so there are far more farm animals than there are humans. But still, there are so many humans that we cannot talk to them all individually. We have to use social media. Why? Because the mainstream media is not telling our story. They ignore us. They either don't show up to any of our events, or when they do, they often do not air it. It happened just 2 days ago in North Carolina at a major news conference that the mainstream media came to and did not air when there was a call to end CAFOs, which is concentrated animal feeding operations. We need to become the media. That's why I started the Jane Unchained News Network, videos for the voiceless. You know, anybody who is reporting on truth can be a journalist. JaneUnchained.com produces and distributes hundreds and hundreds of videos a year, over 1,000. This is an animal rights news network. And you know what? I challenge other people to start their own. So I'm going to give you just a little view of just some of the stories that we cover on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. We go live about 4 times a day, so multiply that by 365, do the math. We're getting a lot of otherwise uncovered stories out there. I mean, the whole premise is if a tree falls and nobody hears it, does it make a sound? So, for example, we were here at Earthling Ed in London as Earthling Ed spoke at the huge London Animal Rights March in August, which certainly did not get as much media attention as it should have.
The change that is coming, it is palpable. It exists in the hearts and minds of each and every one of us. Feel it. Believe it. The change is coming. The sun will one day set on this world and a new dawn will rise. Out of the ashes of violence, hope will rise. Now we as a movement exist in the millions of individuals, but together we move as one. And as one, we cannot be stopped. We will not be stopped. And these industries, the ones who exploit others, they feel what we feel, and they fear it.
He's a brilliant speaker. Earthling Ed, one of my heroes. Now, there were a lot of people at that march, but we got 64,000 views. So that was just the last time I checked on August 25th. the great thing about these videos, once they're there, they keep growing day after day, even year after year. I've come back and looked at videos I did in 2015, and they keep growing because they remain out there in the ether. So this expands our reach. With the cell phone, going live, you can expand the reach of incredible speeches, events, veg fests, protests. Take a look at the Miami Animal Rights March. It's happening the same day.
Hello everyone, we are live at the official Animal Rights March, Miami 2018. This is Shannon Blair reporting live for janeunchained.com. Yes! Hundreds of activists have come out in support of the animals today.
Again, there was virtually no mainstream media coverage of that. So by going live, we were able to show people, and that's why sharing is important. Every time you share a video that we do, or any other animal rights video for Mercy for Animals or PETA or whatever organization, you are reaching non-vegans, and all it takes is one image of a pig in a gestation crate or a mother being ripped away from her baby to make them change.
Jane Unchained live in Los Angeles at the official Animal Rights March. We have thousands of people marching behind us, not just here in Los Angeles, but all over the world. There are marches in London. There are also marches in Washington, D.C., and there are marches in Luxembourg and Sweden. So check this out. So those were all on the same day that we were able to go live, thanks to great contributors. So at this point, that week, we reached 649,752 video views, and our reach was 1.5 million. So, people say, well, it's just social media. It's kind of, everybody's always trying to get on television. Sure, I was on television for 38 years, fine. But insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. We need to become the media, because the media is not telling the story, because look at the advertisers, meat, dairy, pharmaceuticals. The industries that would obviously collapse if people went plant-based. So never underestimate the ability of a small but determined group of individuals to change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever does. I think it was Eleanor Roosevelt. There's our team, and we've got more team members who are here today. We're growing our team every single day. And right now we have more than 60, at this point 65 contributors around the world. I urge everyone who's serious about this and who wants to speak for animals, contact me. You can message me on Facebook and become a contributor. This is a stabilizer. That snarky vegan girl, my girlfriend, Donna, is showing this live using a stabilizer. Donna, pan over to me and show how smooth it is, okay? And so this takes what would be amateur video and instantly makes it professional. And audio is another thing. Do you want to come a little bit closer for audio, or do you think your audio is good? People are hearing it perfect. The two hardest things are the steadiness and the audio quality. Now you can see that the camera here is on horizontal. Very important to have your camera on horizontal, because otherwise you're going to get those bands on either side if you hold the camera vertical. So right there, I'm letting you know so that if you want to do this on your own, go ahead. You don't have to be a contributor to Jane Unchained. You could go to a Cuba Truth or a Vigil or a protest or a Veg Fest and get this stabilizer and go live on your own. But make sure you keep, for Facebook anyway, keep the camera horizontal. If you want to go live for Instagram, you can do vertical. Okay, so emotion is the key. We try to tell people, don't venture into, you're not Woodward and Bernstein, don't try to be an investigative journalist, talk from the heart.
Live for Jane Unchained in Tar Heel, North Carolina, protesting animal slaughterhouses, particularly this one in Smithfield Slaughterhouse in Tar Heel. Here comes a truck right now with trapped pigs, tons of them, being trucked to their death.
I said back up!
So you can see that was a very emotional video. She didn't make any accusations other than, I'll take questions at the end, thanks.
It's just the audio for the video, if you turn it down a little bit.
Okay, I'll turn it down a little bit, thank you. But you could see that she didn't make any specific allegations that could get her in legal trouble. All she did was talk from the heart, and that got 688,000 views the last time I checked. For all I know, it's up to 1 million. Here's another one where just this amazing contributor who was a meat eater just a few years ago, and now is one of the leading contributors and a great social media voice, Danny Rukin, the Daring Video. She heard about a chicken truck overturned. She went, and here's what she saw.
Oh, they're not? Okay. Can you tell me anything that's happening?
No, there's state patrols right up there.
Okay.
They'll be able to help
So
you.
gotta go up there. Okay, so, but these are chickens here. Wow. Oh, this is just so... All right, they're telling me I need to go somewhere else, but this is clearly where I need to be. This is horrific. Oh my God, this is horrific. This is horrific. Oh, God, help us.
God help us indeed. I mean, this is institutionalized cruelty on a mind-boggling scale that the world has never seen in terms of numbers before. And it's not going to end until every good person stands up and says, enough. And we need to say enough today. 3.5 million and counting animals died in North Carolina. A whole group of people got together from various organizations, community, environmental, animal. They held a news conference in Wilmington, North Carolina 2 days ago, and there were 2 cameras there from media, local media. They never put it on. There is no evidence of that news conference, which included a lot of very legitimate organizations, community people. Why? Because the call was to end CAFOs, concentrated animal feeding organizations. Now, what's so hideous is that the farmers, the so-called farmers, because these are warehouses, these are not the farms that we have in our imagination. These are ginormous warehouses where these animals are kept and fed, fattened up, and kept in very confined conditions. They never touch grass. They never see the light of day. And the farmers, in a news release, referred to their animals as live inventory. Live inventory. So in the words of Gary Yourofsky, what has become of animals, farm animals, who are the vast majority of animals, aside from insects on this planet, because animal agriculture has decimated habitat that has in turn eliminated wildlife around the planet. These animals, the vast majority of animals in the world, are considered live inventory, as if they are things, okay? But they want to have it both ways, because if you try to show the imagery of the live inventory that was left mangled and crushed and drowned, abandoned to drown in warehouses, so that it could be an insurance write-off, then they say it's too graphic. So how can it be inventory and too graphic at the same time? If inventory is destroyed, if a bunch of vases were in a box and broke, you couldn't say that the vases were too graphic to show because they are mere inventory. So they don't want to show the imagery because it's too graphic, and yet they're treating these sentient beings who are just like our dogs and cats as inventory. Shame on our culture. This is institutionalized and cultural sociopathy. And it's time that we call it for what it is. And that's what we're doing here on Shane Unchained. Woo! So, here's another example.
Continuing our live coverage of the enormous animal rights protest going on here in San Francisco, California. More than 1,000 demonstrators marching en masse to demand an end of animal exploitation for food, for leather, for fur, but especially for food.
Now, DXC, Direct Action Everywhere, holds a lot of events in Berkeley and in San Francisco and in other places. And many times, for example, at the San Francisco Ferry Building, where they had well over 1,000 people doing a mass die-in from one end to the other, zero media coverage. Do you know when we do get media coverage? They get media coverage when 26 people are arrested. So 26 people had to be arrested for the mainstream media to come out, including Alexandra Paul, who's one of my heroes, who's a Baywatch actress, who is an amazing activist, and her sister, a firefighter. So again, in order for us to get mainstream media coverage, people have to get arrested. Is that fair? This is the alternative that we're offering. We're offering a way to get the word out and do an end run around the mainstream media blackout. Now, we hold vigils all the time in downtown Los Angeles at a pig slaughterhouse. We've not gotten any mainstream media coverage that I know of. In fact, again, a camera went and didn't broadcast it. Even though stars like Joaquin Phoenix and other major celebrities show up. This social media network and others that you're feel free to start is a way to get that word out, because there are vigils all around the world now at least 500 slaughterhouses, and the goal is to have a vigil to bear witness at every slaughterhouse in the world. Check this one out. Hi babies, I'm so sorry, I love you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Hi babies, I'm so sorry. That was in Toronto, but we also have it in Latin America.
Hey there, this is Fede again from Buenos Aires Animal State. I'm here in front of a truck full of these beautiful bees. And they're about to get inside the slaughterhouse. And I feel very sad about this.
All those animals, of course, that we showed you are dead and on somebody's plate or eaten and expelled already. You know, all of that death and killing is unnecessary, destroying the environment, contributing to climate change, causing human disease, because processed meat, which is how most people eat a lot of their meat, is officially cancer-causing, according to the World Health Organization. So there were many people offering solutions. I was in Asheville, North Carolina, where Earthling and Dr. Celeste Rao, Renee King, and Paul Berry spoke. Like this gathering, it was a very small room, but because we used social media, we were able to take that incredible speech and show it to many, many thousands of people. In fact, some of the greatest speeches I've heard as part of Jane Unchained have been delivered to the smallest number of people in person. And often those people are already vegan and agree. So we need to reach people who aren't vegan, and this is the way to do it.
Fresh up, blessed up, back and forth, another roll over, take my girl and kiss, told her that I love her, motivated me when I was sick, pockets in his road.
That is Gray. He's of the famous Thanksgiving song. And I can tell you that all of our content doesn't have to be depressing and sad. We bring you the truth, but we also show you the joy of vegan living with performances like Gray and Lunch Break Live, janeunchained.com's daily vegan cooking show.
We are live on Lunch Break Live with the extraordinary Gianna Simone of Star Trek Into Darkness, a vegan star, joining us on Lunch Break Live today. We're so delighted to have you. Take it away.
Okay. So first we're making one of my favorite recipes, which are oatmeal cookies, and there's only 2 ingredients. So first we start with really ripe bananas, and
there's only 2 ingredients. This is one of the reasons she's in such great shape. Now, this was a groundbreaking talk that changed my life, delivered by Dr. Celeste Rao. Again, there were virtually, I would say, maybe 20 people watching this, and they were scattered over a field, so I don't even know how many people heard it. But he is offering the solution to what plagues us. He believes that we can have a vegan world by 2026. He was instrumental in the development of the internet. He is a PhD from Stanford, and he is having a conference on October 26th. You can go to climatehealers.org and be part of this. We are all going to Arizona. Several people in this audience and I are going to Arizona to be taking part in Vegan World 2026, creating the infrastructure for a society of normalized nonviolence. So if you want to be part of it, let's listen to what his thought is about rapid change.
So that's how much things changed in 10 years. And after that, we cannot even imagine going back to an era without the internet.
He was instrumental in the development of the internet, and he explained that when he was working on the internet, nobody believed that anybody would be working on their laptops or doing most of their communication via the cell phone. And in 10 short years, everything changed. And he feels in 8 short years, everything can change, and we can have a world of normalized nonviolence. And what he explains is that today what we have is a world of normalized violence. It's a kill or be killed world. It's a world where everybody feels the killing they are doing, and anybody who eats animals or drinks their stolen byproducts is killing. And I'm going to say this is provocative, but a woman called me up the other day, and she said she was feeling really down. And I said to her, she said, tell me something, give me some advice. I said, I was provocative. I said, how about if you stop killing? And she didn't know what I was talking about. Because our society says that all the animals you kill for food, oh, that doesn't count. That's not real killing. No, those animals, you kill a dog, you kill a cat, you kill a person, that counts. You kill a pig, you kill a cow, you kill a chicken, you kill a turkey, you kill a lamb, that doesn't count. That's not killing. You're not really killing. That's a lie. You are really killing. Now, ask yourself, if you really killed a human being, would you be haunted by guilt? Would you walk around thinking, oh my God, what did I do? I made a terrible decision. How is it affecting his or her family? Maybe you'd even return to the scene of the crime. Actually, it's a cliche, but having covered crime for decades, criminals often do. Well, the same thing is going on with people who eat animals, except it's happening subconsciously. Because our society has told our conscious minds, oh, you can kill all the pigs, turkeys, chickens, cows, lambs, and maybe even bisons you want. That doesn't count. But the subconscious mind is so much more intelligent than the conscious mind. The subconscious mind knows I'm a killer. Indeed, if you're eating animals the way most Americans and people in the Western world are eating animals, you're a serial killer. You're killing hundreds of living beings who had mothers and who had hearts and who seek friendship and who experience loneliness and terror. You're doing that. And having covered crime many years, I can tell you that in criminal law, if you call somebody up and say, hey, take out my whatever, my wife, my husband, my boss, my neighbor, I'll pay you X, Y, Z, you're committing a crime, and you can be found guilty of murder, and they are found guilty of murder and they're thrown in prison. So it doesn't matter whether you're killing the animals yourself, you're still committing. What is the definition of homicide? It is an unjustifiable taking of the life of another. And we all know that eating these animals is not justified. There are millions and millions and millions of people who aren't doing so and who are healthier than the general population. So for all the depression, and every time I turn on the TV to watch the latest, bizarre news development, all I see are either commercials for depression, erectile dysfunction, high cholesterol, all of which is preventable or reversible with a plant-based diet. So anyway, consider going to climatehealers.org and adopting, helping us create a world of normalized nonviolence. Last year, Jane Unchained reached 16.5 million video views, which is pretty good. And we're just getting started. We hope to reach more this year. Here's what I want to leave you with. You don't need to even be part of Jane Unchained. Take a look at this woman, Shannon Blair, who's Vegan Evan's mom, just herself with a bullhorn.
Reporting live, Jane Unchained.
Do not support the
We're here at the Miami Aquarium.
The leader of the orca here has been confinement for over 48 years. She's performed over 48,000 times. Please do not support animal abuse.
So one person can do something very effective. And it's been done many times before, a speak out, or even just sitting the camera in front of you and talking into your camera and talking about your feelings about what's happening in this world that we have turned into, as Philip Wallen said, Planet Slaughterhouse. Now, you can also live stream your vegan cooking. There you are. Even if you don't have a stabilizer, that's a selfie stick. You can see that we're live. You can see the comments. And there we are cooking a plant-based meal. Our mission is to normalize veganism, to make veganism the norm. We need to saturate social media with vegan and animal rights content because every day people are being brainwashed. They are being conditioned. I was walking from a little hotel to the International Animal Rights Conference in Luxembourg in a tiny village, and I decided to count how many images encouraging me to eat dead animals I saw on the way, which was about a quarter of a mile. I saw at least 30. So this is in a tiny little village in Luxembourg. Imagine people driving on freeways with billboards and being in big American cities and turning on the TV and watching all the TV, how much they are brainwashed. Society is simply brainwashed into eating these. It's not normal. We are not carnivores. If we were carnivores, when we saw roadkill by the side of the road, we'd pull over and try to eat it, just like actual carnivores do. But we don't do that. All right, so what is a network? Everybody's always talking about TV. I was on television for 38 years, so I know a little bit about it. It's simply, a network is simply a video product with a channel to an audience. Guess what? Everybody who has a Facebook, an Instagram, or a YouTube account has in their palm of their hand a network. They just need to utilize it. So I'm just urging everyone, if you want to show people the truth and the horror of this, whip out those cameras and start going to these events. And start showing the cubes of truth and going to the same
And I'm Luca, and together we're that vegan couple on YouTube and other social media.
We are from Australia, but tonight we are here in San Francisco, US of A. We are taking part in a Cube of Truth.
In fact, it's the world's largest ever Cube of Truth.
We're making history tonight, and the whole point of a Cube of Truth is to show the public what the industry does not show us.
So these two were incredible. They're a couple. They say, you know, something morally wrong's going on. I'm going to do something about it. They're so effective. They travel around the world. So that vegan couple. We also have those annoying vegans. We have that snarky vegan girl. There she is, and she's behind the camera. And she does incredible stuff. Incredible photos. She's a photographer, and she also is a great chef, and she's also a fabulous girlfriend. Love you, Donna. We just became a 501c3 nonprofit, the Jane Unchained News Network. So if you feel like helping our mission, obviously we do need funds in order to distribute. It's creating the content, it's also distributing it widely. We do boost posts and we target people. Sometimes I target ahimsa. You know, there's a lot of people running around saying how spiritual they are and talking about ahimsa while they're killing animals. And not to belittle them or shame them. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to say, hey, make your values consistent with your actions. Okay, if you are a good person, and most people I think are, then wake up and realize what you're doing is bad. And I know that a lot of people feel that they can't survive a day without eating a dead animal or the byproduct of an animal stolen, milk stolen, so that mothers have to be separated from their babies and they grieve and cry and scream so that we can drink the mother's milk of a species that's not intended for us. But you can do it. I'm a recovering alcoholic with 23 years of sobriety. For many years I thought I cannot go a day without a drink. I told myself, I'm not going to drink tonight, and I always did. But I hit bottom, and I had a moment of clarity. And you know what they say, first it's fun, then it's fun with problems, then it's just problems. And that's what's happening with eating animals in our culture. It is just problems. It's making our storms worse. It's destroying the homes and the livelihoods and the lives of human beings. It's torturing animals. It's wiping out species. It's wildly inefficient, so it's contributing to world hunger. And for all those feminists out there, the 74 billion animals who were brought into this world in institutionalized cruelty only to be slaughtered They didn't come into this world making love. They were all sexually violated. The males and the females. The males are masturbated and the females are forced. The semen is forced into them. That's called rape. Look it up in the dictionary. So feminists, this is the ultimate patriarchy. That's something in our news so much. We need to look at the violation of all of the sacred feminine. That's what's happening, the violation of the sacred feminine. So for all those reasons, I urge everyone to take those cameras on your cell phones and use them because it is a very powerful tool. Thank you so much.